Welcome back to Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tom. Today we're looking at the Kingston Arms Swept Hilt Rapier. This is a 17th century design. We'll take a look at some specs, up-close looks, and a little bit of movement. And there's nothing wrong with it. This was drop shipped directly to me from Iberia, and it actually came disassembled intentionally. So this is a threaded one, obviously. There's a lot of threading on here. And how it came was the guard was separate. So I slid the guard on, and then I've slid the handle on. So we have almost an entire sword. This thing is sharp. Kingston Arms does a good job on their edges, so I wasn't really worried about that. But we've got the wood cord leather wrap scabbard. And what we're gonna do now is take the pommel and also the nut, because it's a nut construction pommel, obviously, since it's threaded. We're just gonna take the pommel and slide it on, actually twist it on, and there's a lot of threading on here, which is good. This isn't uncommon for a good amount of swords to have a threaded pommel. So we're gonna go all the way on. The reason why I'm not taking the handle off here, or I'm not taking the guard off right now, is it's kind of stuck on there in a good way, because you don't want that to be rattling. So I twisted this on. I'm just going to twist it enough to where I know it's snug, because the internal threading is going to take care of that. You can see the internal threading. And then I have an Allen key, and then the nut for the pommel. And then I'm going to match that threading to it, obviously. I'm just screwing it in. Really no different than how I put my couch together or any other type of furniture. And then we simply twist that on. I don't want to like strip it or anything, because no point in doing that. And there we go. First impressions on this Swept Hilt Rapier from Kingston Arms. It's supposed to be a 17th century design. It looks more of like a Spanish design that you see even in side swords, Italian swords as well. You can see it on that. We have a lot of hand protection here, because we're looking at a lot of thrust to thrust interactions primarily when it comes to the rapier. It's a skinny blade. Doesn't mean that it's not, it doesn't have some good construction to it. It is thick enough to where this doesn't feel like a car antenna, but it does have flexibility to it. So there is a little bit of movement in the blade. That's not uncommon for rapiers, especially from this time frame. So we have the ability to go hammer grip. We can have our forefinger through. We can even go double if we wanted to, with both fingers to stabilize the thrust. I prefer to have that finger through, so that way I can hold this into extended positions, but cuts are still available without having to change the grip. I like the aesthetics on the hand protection, because you've got a cross, but then you also have that extra hand protection when you move into parries, where their blade is offline and you know your hand is protected behind that weapon and you're good to go. So as far as a training one for exercises, obviously this thing is sharp, so you have to have proper training. But as far as for training exercises at homes, solo training, and of course the history to add this to your collection, this checks all the boxes for me if I was in the market for a rapier. Let's take a look at some movement with this Swept Hilt Rapier. Primarily working some thrust to thrust interactions. I work some larger cuts and also some transition through guard positions. Let's take a look. Let's do some up-close looks of this Swept Hilt Rapier in the scabbard and out of the scabbard. Overall length 42 7/8 inches, blade length 37 inches. Handle length is 3.5 inches, and this thing weighs 2 pounds. Point of balance is 2 5/8 from the guard, The width at the guard is 0.75 inches. The thickness at the tip is 2.5 millimeters. Thickness at the guard is 5.5 millimeters. This is going to be a 37-inch high carbon steel blade. The grip is cord wrapped, and the cross guard, or the matte stainless steel guard, is stainless steel, which is better because if you're going to be sweating, and it's really easy to maintenance that way, making it stainless steel. Next, we take a look at the scabbard. Of course, it's going to be a skinny scabbard. This is a wood cord, leather wrapped scabbard. Got a steel tip on the end of it, that way you don't have to worry about poking through. Really easy to get a sword belt and a sword frog in order to carry this one for Renaissance fairs, reenactments, things like that. Those are all available at cultofathena.com. Hey, thanks for joining me for this review of the swept hilt rapier from Kingston Arms. This one is available at cultofathena.com. Click the link in the description below this video to buy this one today. I'm your host Tom for Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you want to see more rapiers and things from this time period, let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.